We'll move on now to the last team that we haven't touched yet. My favorite NHL team, Craig. I'm a diehard Canucks fan. So I heard you mention there that you have them behind Calgary, Edmonton. A little tough to hear, but I want you to preview their season as well as Vasily Podkolzin. When Podkolzin was drafted, I was very excited about all of the American players on that stacked national development team. They go with Podkolzin, and I wasn't very excited, but I listened to the NBC draft, I listened to the Sportsnet draft, and you said positive things about him, and it on made me more high on him than I was initially. So I want your thoughts on him.
Okay, well, it's. I think the Vancouver Canucks are more than capable of being in the playoffs. Well, will it be easy to get into the playoffs? No, but Thatcher Demko has clearly shown he's a number one goalie. So I have no concerns in that regard. To me, their blue line was one that just wasn't built very well. Jacob Markstrom cleaned up a lot of the mess. Thatcher Demko cleaned up a lot of the mess. They were literally and figuratively safety nets for porous defense. I like what they went and did in the offseason. I think that we know how good Quinn Hughes is. So let's just take Quinn Hughes out of the equation. I like the addition of Oliver Ekman-Larsson as well. Oliver is a player that I think will benefit from not having to be the go-to guy. And I think that it'll also help Quinn Hughes. It'll take some of the pressure off of him, power play. But Oliver's a real effective player. Then, like Tucker Poolman, real good depth defenseman. Jack Rathbone is going to be somebody who I feel is going to be able to come in and play. And there's a difference between playing and contributing. I think when you look at those different types of qualities, I think he's ready to come in and contribute. So when I start to look at the blue line, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But, when you have Travis Hamonic playing, he should be playing down the lineup. You have Luke Shen, who comes in and plays competitive at a good contract. I think the blue line is improved. Now let's go up front. Podkolzin is a player. Is there any problem with Pettersson or JT Miller or Brock Besser? Not at all. And there never has been. What Jim Benning went and did in the offseason in acquiring Connor Garland, in acquiring Jason Dickinson. And you now look at Höglander last year, you look at Podkolzin this year. I really like the depth. I like the makeup of their team. Höglander and Podkolzin are similar in that they are more than capable of playing with really good players. They're competitive, they're smart, they're hard to play against. And I think when I start to look at that forward group, I see a forward group that is going to be able to play a lot more in the offensive zone and not have to play in the defensive zone. That's going to take pressure off of your blue liners. The blue line's improved. Like I said, it's not ideal. If it was a little bit better, you might say, hey, listen, there's no reason why this team can't be in the playoffs. But that being said, I think that they have the qualities to be competing for a playoff spot. And again, I'm going to go back to the three California teams. To me, that takes three teams out. And I'm not so convinced on the Seattle Kraken. I think the Seattle Kraken, have the benefit of being able to draft, similarly to the Vegas Golden Knights. And we know what the Vegas Golden Knights have done. It was wonderful and whatnot. But I'm not making the same bet on the Seattle Kraken. I think they're competitive. And I think, like Vancouver, Calgary, perhaps, they're going to be competing for a spot. But I'm not giving it away to them right now. And I'm not taking anything away from the Vancouver Canucks. And I think there's real potential for them to push their game and push their level of play higher and be in the playoffs. Is it a given? No, but I don't think it's a given that they're out either. I think they are the proverbial bubble team, going into, at this point in time.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely a bounce back candidate in terms of the teams in the NHL.
Yeah, they need one. Honestly, there's a lot of pressure on that team to
Yeah.
come back and perform. The fans are definitely hungry for it after they got a little taste of it in the bubble in 2020.